Hey guys, and I am back with the final book review of today. Drum roll. It is The American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin. I actually found this book at one of my jobs. We had a book sale to raise money for Boston Children's Hospital, and this is one of the books that someone donated, and it was only $1, and I was just like, yeah. So I bought it. And I think I read this one pretty much in the span of a week tops, which considering I've been in school up until just now, considering I've been in school until just now is pretty crazy for me, so you know it was good. The American Heiress is about Cora Cash. She lives in Newport. If you've ever seen the Newport Mansion, she kind of lives back in this time when people actually lived in the houses. And, you know, she's considered the American heiress because her family's super rich, although they're also considered new money, so it's got the old money is superior kind of thing. New money may be the same amount, but they're new, they're not like the classy older money, whatever that whole thing is, I never understood. But, so Cora's part of the new money, she's super rich, and this is set back in the time where women went to school long enough to be considered appropriate women of society. So she's smart, but, you know, she doesn't have the education that she could have today. Though she's very quick-witted, and she's definitely good at reading people and understanding what she needs to do to survive. Not that she has to survive, again, she's rich. But anyways, her mother is at the point where it's time to marry Cora off, and of course, it can't just be anybody. We need to get her someone that's absolutely amazing. And by amazing, we mean lots of money and a title. You know the works. She falls in love with this boy, Teddy, who's part of the old money. So his parents don't want her with him. Her parents think she can, well, her mom thinks she can definitely do better than him. So it's kind of like nobody wants them together except for the two of them. And then Teddy decides to choose his possible career over Cora, and Cora's mom whisks her away to England to try and get her a title. And, you know, this crazy twist of events, she actually does meet this man. He is a duke, Duke Ivo, and they have this relationship. And at first it kind of seems like the duke doesn't like anybody, and then all of a sudden he falls in love with Cora, and he proposes to her, and they decide, let's get married. You'd think that was a spoiler alert. It's not a spoiler. So a good portion of this novel now is figuring out Cora's place, and at first, like, the way Cora's described, you kind of get angry with her at times, and you're like, damn it, Cora, you're so annoying, you're rich, you don't have real problems. And then the more you get into her world, you start to feel bad for her at points. You start to get angry for her. I got very angry for her for a lot of points, and I was just, ugh. Lots of emotions. And then there's also, which is really cool, is another perspective you get, which is Bertha, who is her lady's maiden. You know, she's kind of that one person she can turn to. And Bertha is African American, although her coloring is lighter, so she could pass for a white person in a lot of respects. So she's kind of like this this rarity in this time to be such a high in social standing. Not that she's a person of her own, but being Cora's personal maid is probably one of the highest things she could be. And considering that she is an African American in that time period, that's like unheard of. So you see it from her side, and you get to learn a little bit about the upper class culture. You get to learn about the servant culture and what goes on. And you get to see how these two ladies fit into the world. And then you start to see England's culture and their ladies. And, you know, Cora gets a lot of disrespect because, you know, she's seen as this girl who's shopping for a title. And the way that she meets the Duke is not shopping for a title. It just kind of happened accidentally, but then it seems like it's too convenient. And then there starts to become these secrets, and there's these little cracks in the armor when you start to see Cora and you start to see the mother-in-law, or the monster-in-law, as I'd like to call her, and the Duke himself. So it's not like an action-adventure book. It's more kind of one of these romanticized books, which usually aren't my type, but I like learning about the culture and what happened back then. And there's also, it's not just like, oh, we got married, everything's perfect. But it's also not the, oh, we got married, I give him children, that's it, I do what I want, he does what he wants, we don't even act like a married couple. It's different because there's still that love there that a lot of people don't consider to be a thing back then. You know, you married more so for the title, for the money. And there's a marriage here that's for the love, but it struggles, and there's other problems, and there's secret backstories. So I find it interesting in that way. Out of my 1 to 5 scale, I would definitely give it a 4, 4.5. It's really addicting. I really enjoyed it. So I would say if you are interested in anything I've discussed, you should definitely check it out. Again, it is The American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin. Really good book. So thank you for being patient as always, because I'm sporadic when giving you book reviews. Thank you for listening, taking the time to comment. Really everything you do, it just means crazy ton amount of love. But I just want to give you those today. I just picked up some books from the library, so hopefully more reviews coming to you soon. And yeah, I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.